Well, hello, Fresno. Welcome to Let's Talk Business. I am Steve Walling, and my guest for this segment is Denise Lanier. Lanier, and she is with One Woman Adventure Along Nature's Path. Denise, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for
You're
having me.
going to tell me all about One Woman's Adventure. I'm interested.
Thank you very much. Valley PBS and I are hoping to create a 10-episode program showing the various trails that we have access to here in Central California. Most people don't realize that we're literally surrounded by world-class national parks. We have Yosemite, Kings Canyon, Sequoia, Pinnacles, we have Big Sur. People from all around the world come here to our area, is for our economy, to take their vacations. So what I would like to do, along with Valley PBS, is to take my cameras out and show people where they can go. What are some accessible trails? What do you bring to keep yourself safe, and so on.
That's, and you're talking particularly like, and we were talking before we went on camera, like women hiking solo.
Yes.
You know, I'm old enough to know that is considered wow back from, the earlier generations, but it's what women are doing today. There's a whole world of adventure that is opened up to the single woman, and you're kind of spearheading a lot of it here, aren't you?
Thank you. I hope to inspire several other women to go out there and really reclaim their sense of self out there. It's a leveling force when you're out there in nature. It's you and the trail and nature. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman or any race, anything like that. You're out there experiencing the very best of nature.
Tell me about your first early experiences. What got you into it? How did it work out?
This whole project started, I grew up backpacking and hiking my entire life. Girl Scouts, family and church, and so on. Okay, sorry. I grew up backpacking and hiking with family and church and scouts. I decided 2 years ago to embark on my own trip. It was my first solo trip. I went on a very short one in Yosemite because I knew Yosemite quite well. Memorial Day weekend, had everything I thought I needed, and I set out on the trail from Glacier Point, and it started to snow.
Oh, my goodness.
I put on everything I had and kept on going. I arrived at Little Yosemite Valley, which is a backpackers camp. It was a safe place to go for my first trip. And there was a group of people there, all bundled up. At first, I couldn't quite tell who was who. And it turned out to be a group of 14 Afghani men. So I spent my entire first night huddled around a campfire, wearing everything we could possibly find, trying to communicate with a group of people who I didn't share their language, but we had a wonderful time. And then from there, I was emboldened for my first trip on my own.
Okay.
And then took my next trip, which is a 10-day solo trip down the John Muir Trail. And I filmed little clips here and there because I wanted to show my daughter and my nephews what backpacking might look like. And I put that on social media and Facebook, and women and mothers in particular responded beautifully well. They wanted to know, where do you go? Where can I take my family? I've always wanted to do that, but I was a little afraid to do that. And so the idea with Valley PBS grew from there.
As somebody starting out into solo backpacking, what would you recommend the process be? I mean, besides watching your show to get all the good information that you're going to put out there, what would be, here I am, I've decided I'm going to do this. What should I do?
I would encourage first, if you're thinking about going on a solo trip, to first go on some solo hikes, some day hikes by yourself.
Okay.
And even before that, if you're not familiar with hiking, hike with some friends first on a known trail, get some experience, take some first aid classes so you know what happens, what to do if somebody falls, gets hurt. Make sure you have adequate supplies in your day pack. In the event that something happens, you have to spend the night outside. You don't have to carry a gigantic backpack. Just have a few basic essentials. Not when you're day hiking. Okay. Now, when you're backpacking overnight, and you decide you've taken some first aid classes, you know how to read a map, you know how to make a fire, things
Wait
like
a second,
that.
let's stop right here.
Yes.
You know how to read a
map. Old school. I know. It's that
Wait a
paper
second.
thing.
What about
lines
the high-tech GPS?
You could. I tried. One of the benefits of hiking and getting out there in the backcountry is, in my mind, is for that one brief moment, getting away from all the buzzing and beeping of gadgets and technology and things, taking your eyes off the screen and really learning to read a map. You can by GPS. In fact, I actually carry not a map GPS, but a two-way communication device. In the event that something happens to me, I'm able to signal out something, whatever. And that's
probably a wise thing to do.
For hiking solo, definitely.
Yeah.
And I love it. I can stay in touch with my family.
And I was being kind of humorous but I do live up in the mountains, and I do know that GPSs oftentimes are not real accurate.
Exactly.
So it's very important to know how to read a map. Don't go up hiking and rely on the electronics. Batteries could die, they could get dropped, all sorts of things. Take a map and know how to read the map, and that's very, very critical.
And there are times where things happen. You become lost out there sometimes. And then one of the goals of the show, it's not a survival show at all. There are plenty of other wonderful survivor shows to watch. This, in essence, the program is hoping to teach people how to go out there safely, what to bring, like I mentioned, and how to just take time out within our beautiful surroundings and just listen to yourself, listen to nature. And we don't do that very often.
No, and it really is a wonderful thing, meditating out in nature. So I read somewhere that 20 minutes out in nature is, it resets our biological clock. It does all sorts of wonderful things for us because we get rid of all the distractions and stuff. Do you have a time and a date for your show to be on?
Right now, I'm out in the country, backcountry, filming right now. Most weekends I can get out there. We're hoping, as long as we get funding for the program, to start airing the program late spring. That will inspire people. They're getting ready to go out there, make their springtime plans. So I'm filming now, and I'll be filming some snowshoeing trips, some backpacking trips, day hikes, things like that. So
do you have like a web page or contact information if somebody's interested in what you're doing or whatever?
Absolutely.
How do we get a hold of you?
Two ways. There's a website, www.onewomanadventure.com, and there's also on Facebook. You can look on Facebook, One Woman Adventure Along Nature's Path. And that's where I have my up-to-date, kind of my thoughts along the trail right now until we actually can edit the clips that I've taken so far and put them up on the Facebook page. But right now, if you go, just like I said, onewomanadventure.com.
Onewomanadventure.com.
That's right. I'm the one woman out there.
All right.
And hoping to bring everybody out there and show you how it's done safely.
Well, that's great. Your target audience. Who are you targeting? I mean, what people are you? Are you just kind of eclectic, or are you really looking towards people that are been sitting in that armchair forever, thinking about it, and you make that connection with them, or what? Do you have a particular target audience? What do you?
Well, anybody could benefit from safe hiking, being out there in the backcountry and taking day hikes. I mentioned before how this started. Whenever I put my clips up there, the biggest response was from women out there, because women are often shuttling kids back and forth here and there. We're working, we're taking care of the home. But one of the beauties of hiking is that time away, just to relax, your shoulders go back where they should be. So women are pretty much the most receptive to this idea.
Initially, to get started, and I'm sure you'll probably cover this in the show, but what kind of equipment? What am I? I just want to get started. What's my basic introductory equipment look like?
Well, I would never go out on a backpacking trip without, obviously, means of shelter to stay warm. So shelter could be a tent. Obviously, tents come in various sizes. I just recently invested in an ultralight tent. But you don't have to invest that money. You can, whatever you need, your Coleman tent, if you're willing to carry it. A means of shelter, sleeping bag to stay warm, next to dry layer of clothes. You never know what's going to happen with weather. It could rain. It snowed on me my first time, so I was glad I had extra layers of clothes. Rain gear is always a must, no matter when you go out. Have something, even if it's a little plastic, those little fold-up ponchos.
Yeah.
That works fine. A means to make fire or warmth could be a lighter, could be a number of things.
What about shoes? Tennis shoes work?
No, well, I've seen people wear tennis shoes, and I would rather you not.
Okay.
Some people wear trail runners and the little, almost look like rubber socks in their feet. But if you're going for the long haul and you're carrying a backpack on you, you really want to support your feet, because your feet will make or break your trip.
Okay.
Could you imagine muddling through carrying a backpack, which should be a beautiful environment, but you're not seeing it because your feet are pulsing? So strong shoes, strong boots are important.
All right, so I'm out there on the trail, and I don't have a lot of time left, but what about critters?
That's the most amazing part, one of the most amazing parts. You see wonderful animals, from the small to the very large. I run into bears quite often out there.
What do you do with a bear?
Oh, nothing. That's the point. You do nothing. You stay calm. You let them know that you're there, and you don't run. You just regard them, let them know, say, hey, bear, I'm here, and then back away slowly. Let them have their right of way to go on. I've come, well, unwittingly, very close to bears sometimes when I realized they were there. I just, like I said, raise my arms up very high, make myself look as big as possible, stay calm, don't run away, and just back up. And they've always just gone on their merry way.
Cool.
So, yes.
All right, we're going to wrap this up. So it's one woman adventure along nature's path. Denise Lanier
Yes, sir.
is, you are the producer and the star and the creator, and it sounds like an exciting adventure. Looking to get it on PBS.
Valley PBS.
Valley
Yes.
PBS. Gotta watch it. Go to the website. There's information there to support you along the way financially as you're raising money.
We can only put the show on if we have funding for the programs.
Very good.
Gathering support from the Valley here.
All right. Well, great. Thank you for sharing that
Thank
with
you
us,
so
Denise.
much.
Thank you for being on the show. I wish you the best. This is exciting.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care, and we'll see you when we come back.